We're back with another edition of the Bulldog Blitz here on TV 24. I'm Gerhard Mathangani, joined in by the head coach of the Anderson Bulldogs, Coach Eddie Bullock. And first off, Coach, you played Sacs, an inter-county rival team, a team that's basically in the same city in a lot of respects. Didn't come out the way that you wanted to. Final score was 28-12. But your overall thoughts on the way the game played out there at Jack Stewart Field?
Well, we played hard. The kids fought, and they were very scrappy. And, we just made a few mistakes. But overall, I was pleased with how the kids fought to the end and just hung in there.
Absolutely. There was a lot of opportunities there, especially at the beginning in the first half and the highlights that you'll see early on. And it feels like with these region games, especially with these rivalry games, it kind of comes down to those opportunities.
Well, basically it's the team that kind of relax and settle themselves in and, start doing the things that they used to doing. Mm-hmm. And I think when we came out, we was a little bit kind of jacked up, just emotional because of the game, and then once we got settled in, we started kind of playing the football we like to play.
Absolutely. Talk about that aspect of it with this being a big rivalry that it was with these two teams, and you talked about it last week, how the kids know each other and the communities know each other. Talk about that aspect going into this game Friday.
Well, it's just that's something that you really can't control because a lot of the kids, like as I mentioned earlier, they know each other, and It's sort of like you have to try to tell them to not let that be a distraction to them, to just kind of separate that from the game and concentrate basically on the things you need to execute out on the football field. So I think we did a pretty decent job of that. I just think we were a little emotional in the beginning. Absolutely.
Injuries have been really a big part of this football season. And I know for you it's always next man up, but this season's almost been different with the injuries and the way they've played out.
Well, we had a couple of injuries this week. We ended up losing a quarterback, which is the second quarterback,
right,
to an AC sprain. And we also lost a leading rusher to an ankle sprain. Mm-hmm. I thank God that they didn't have anything major except for a sprain, but you could possibly be playing without them the rest of the season. So, we just have to try to get the next guy up and get them trained to do it. But it's been kind of terrible on us for injuries, but of course that's football. You can't do anything about it.
Right. And you're making do the best way possible, and
right,
especially with that linebacker core, and especially with a lot of guys, a lot of pieces on that defense. Talk about the maturation of some of these young guys who've been forced to play early in the season, early in their careers too.
Well, actually, I think it's a blessing in disguise, because, going into next season, which you don't want to look the next season, these guys are getting valuable game reps, mm-hmm, and, it's reps you can't get in practice.
Right.
And, once they actually see the speed of the game and play against the guys, you get a mindset and an understanding of what you need to do in order to play at the varsity level.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Going back on the road, going over to Jack Stewart Field, talk about your team's mentality as they headed back to the road.
Well, we're just going to put it together. We play a Hoax Bluff team, which is a tough team, and I think Hoax Bluff is playing well right now, actually playing better than I've ever seen them play. And, we just got to, I think we have an opportunity to beat them. We just have to put things together and, make a few less mistakes than we made this past week.
Absolutely. The Anderson Bulldogs with a loss over at Jack Stewart Field over at Sacs. A lot of opportunities in the game. And Anderson, like Coach said, played well in the football game. You'll see the way that it all played out with first half highlights coming up next here on the Bulldog Blitz. Welcome back to the Bulldog Blitz. Coach, you played a very, very tough Sacs football team to start out. Talk about what you saw here in the first half.
Well, in the first half, as I mentioned, I think we came out a little bit emotional and we didn't execute some of the things we needed to do. But, we kind of settled in and, we would have one negative play and then we would come back and one guy would miss an assignment. And, of course, right there you've seen the defense forced to fumble inside the red zone. And, they were playing pretty scrappy. We had opportunities to make things happen. And right here you can see we blew an assignment on the inside with the linebackers, just getting out of position and playing a little bit too high. and we ended up giving up a touchdown score earlier, and we came back and I think they forced us on a 3-and-out, and we came back. Of course, you can see right there we got a negative play, and we got out our gap on this particular play, and the quarterback was able to gain some yardage on us on this play. And right there, you can see the outside linebacker was out of position, and he should have been coming down on the inside, and we just, we just blew a couple assignments, and we got down early. So you can see in the second quarter, we were down 14-0, and I believe we held them right there. We had a couple of good runs. You can see L.J. Hurd right here making a great run on the outside, and we got the ball down in the red zone right here. You see Jeremy McCants make a great run, but he didn't take care of the football, ball secured, and it kind of killed that drive right there. And we were able to actually maintain them throughout this half. Of course, they ran a counter right there. You can see us stuffing it in the backfield. Right here, you see on the quarterback draw, he's trying to get outside right there, and we should have had an outside linebacker setting the edge on the outside, but we were still able to pretty much hold him up here. And right there, you can see quarterback fumbled the football, and we got tremendous pressure on him, right, and we were able to force a punt. And we came back on this particular play right here. You see Mario Dobbins makes a great run right here, and we actually get in the red zone again, but we had a penalty against us, and then we came back and we tried to run a middle screen on them. We didn't set the screen up very well, and we ended up turning the football over on downs. And I was proud of my guys right here because one of the goals was to shut down their best receiver, which was number 11, and we didn't. I believe we stopped him. He didn't catch a pass all night, so I was pleased with what they did there. Right there, you can see him blitzing us off the edge, and Mario Dobbins does a great job right here getting out of trouble. So we had opportunities, just didn't capitalize on them.
Yeah, 14-0 is your score at halftime. Your message to the team at halftime, because there were, like you said, some opportunities where you created a fumble. When you got tremendous quarterback pressure, you took 11 out of the ball game. It seemed like, especially at that first half, you were almost playing the game on the side of the field that you wanted to play on. Right. It's about getting points there, but you were playing well.
Right, and we just just a couple of mistakes there. We had a couple of situations where we killed ourselves on drives. Of course, we fumbled the football, and then we also had situations defensively where we would have them in 3rd and long, and we would have one player that would get out of his gap assignment, and that cost us. But overall, I was pleased with how we played, even though the score was 14-0.
Right. In my opinion, one of the things that you did really well at the beginning, and really I think you caught on to this at the Pell City game, is finding different ways to line Rio up. Sometimes it was under center and sometimes with shotgun. Are y'all tinkering a lot with his formation and using some of his skill sets to be able to utilize his talent both under center and under the gun?
Well, we were trying to get him in space. He's very elusive. He's very quick, and he has great vision. So we were trying to get him in situations where he could, we could run the zone read and give him opportunities where we could get him in space one-on-one with the linebackers and just let him utilize his athleticism.
Absolutely. We always talk about the adjustments and some of the things that you expected from game film vis-a-vis what you saw Friday night. Were they about the same?
Pretty much they were the same. We went in with the mindset. We had 3 goals. We wanted to shut the best receiver out, number 11. We wanted to contain the quarterback, and then we wanted to contain the running back, Reddick, number 5. And those were our 3 primary goals. And we felt like we could move the ball on them, which we did. But defensively, those were the primary goals.
You talked about settling in the game. About what point did you think that clicked? Because obviously, playing a lot of young guys, especially in a rivalry kind of atmosphere, can be about nerve-wracking, but it was just one of those things where it could be, once you do settle it down, the talent can kind of take over.
Well, actually, as a coach, you have to play each down with the guys, and I was telling the coaches, we needed to just take the calm approach and just play each series with the guys, because the more calm they see the coaches, the more calm they are. And we just wanted to try to fix each player, each position, one at a time, without making changes to the rest of the defense or offense.
Absolutely. 14-0 your score at halftime. Anderson plays well in the second half. You'll catch those second half highlights coming up next here on the Bulldog Blitz. But obviously, another great performance for the Anderson High School marching band. They had a great performance over at Jack Stewart Field. You'll hear them, and you'll see second half highlights coming up next here on the Bulldog Blitz. We're back on the Bulldog Blitz, second half highlights of Anderson's game against Sachs. Coach, strong second half to start with here in the third quarter.
Well, we came out actually moving the football, got a couple of great plays. As you can see, Mario Dobbins right there moving, and he's pretty tough to contain once he get out and start moving. And we start getting the edges on him right here. You can see LJ Hurd right there making great cuts right there. We give him a straight lead play right there. He makes another fantastic run right there, and he ran the ball pretty tough for us on the inside. Of course, you see Mario Dobbins on the outside right there, and we actually punched it in right there and cut the score 14-6. We missed the PAT. We hit the upright, and of course the defense right there. You see them. They kind of fired up. We got a quarterback sack. Right here, we forced a fumble right here, and I got the football back and was actually moving it in right here. You see Jeremy McCants makes a great run here and inside the red zone again at this particular point here. And we was actually on the 1 yard line, and we actually scored, and we got it called back because of illegal procedure. And, we actually turned the ball over right there. We fumbled the football. We had to run it down again, and we fumbled the football inside the 5 yard line. And of course, we kind of got out our gap assignments again, on the outside. And as you can see on that play, we had 2 linebackers on the outside, and we didn't have one on the inside. And we had great effort here. You can see by our guys, running back made a great run, and we were able to track him down, but they were able to punch it in the end zone on us. And, that with us not scoring and them scoring, that kind of hurt us a little bit in that game, but we kept fighting. We came back, and we actually pushed the football down the field again. And I was proud of the guys because they played hard. We kind of went to that quick game on them. We wanted to throw some short passes and get some guys into space. Of course, you can see Mario Dobbins here again makes a great run. We thought that he was actually going to get in right there, which he actually did get in. And we went for 2, and we missed the PAT. But we came back again, and we got a little bit soft on the inside of the defense right there. We were a little bit soft. Our defensive front was playing a little bit high. We were trying to get them to stay low, and we were choosing sides, kind of getting out of gaps. And you can see they were taking advantage of it, and we were still fighting, though. I was proud of them, and we right here, I think we let them go off the edge and actually score a touchdown. So that was on 4th down, so that touchdown right there kind of widened the gap. It's not indicative of how the game was played, but it kind of hurt us.
Right. I was about to say the exact same thing. You see the final score there, but you talked about that changeover from having the ball at the 1 yard line and driving and really playing well for the bulk of that third quarter, and then having Sachs score. Do you think that was kind of the turning point of the game?
I think that played a major role in it because we had the ball on the 1 yard line, and as I mentioned, quarterback scored, and he kind of took off a little early, and we got an illegal procedure called, and we had 2 downs left, so it was the end of the quarter. We got the ball and got it back to the 1 yard line again, and they left the center uncovered. So we gave him the option there, just quarterback sneak the ball, and we just failed to get it in. And had we gotten that in, we could have possibly tied the score then, and of course, that last touchdown, you may have had a different outcome, know, when you look at the score, and it's possibly tied or you down by 2 points.
Right. let's talk about the defense for a second. The defense, to me, really played impressively because they were able to force a couple of fumbles. And like you said at the beginning, they took 11 out of the ball game, one of their best wide receivers, and for a large part of the game, made the quarterback run game not as big of a factor as it has been for the most of the season.
Well, 2 out of 3, we accomplished what we basically wanted to. We actually held them to 0 completions in the passing game, which was fantastic, and we were able to contain the quarterback. But we kind of let, just a lack of gap integrity. We kind of let number 5 get on the roll, which he's a great player. He had a great game, but I just felt like we could have done a little better job on him, and had we done that, we were giving ourselves a better chance.
Absolutely. We always talk about some of the players, some of the mainstays as far as the playmakers. Was there any player or group or maybe a unit that played well in your eyes?
Well, offensively, we moved the ball. I was proud of them. And, of course, Mario Dobbins, he did a great job. L.J. Hurd, Jeremy McCants, all those guys did a fantastic job. They stepped up to the plate. But defensively, we just, as an entire unit, we didn't have one particular guy that stood out so well. I was proud of Shariah Brown. He received the assignment of being on number 11, and he's a sophomore, and he actually played a great game. He's very physical, and, at the end of the day, he held him to 0 catches.
Right. 55 points last week. You've scored 38 points, and it seems like whenever the offense wants to move the ball, and especially in certain situations, whether it's in the passing game, the quick passes like you went to in the second half, or with the running game inside with Jeremy McCants and L.J. Hurd, and also outside with both those backs as well. You're able to do it, and it's just really about putting it all together.
Right. That's been our MO the entire season. It's just getting both sides to click together, getting both running backs and the quarterback, to work as one unit, and, even getting the run game and the passing game working together. We always have one aspect of the game that's working well, but we hadn't been able to put it all together the entire season, and that's sort of what we're waiting on, just for the whole thing to just come together.
Absolutely. Another big region game in order for them to accomplish that, and it's a big game against Hoax Bluff, a team that is trending upwards, and we will talk about that game and much more here on the Bulldog Blitz as the Anderson Bulldogs look towards Week 8 of the high school football season. Join us for our final segment next. We're back here on the Bulldog Blitz, and Coach, another big one coming into this week, a team that's really, really hot going into Week 8, the Hoax Bluff Eagles.
Well, tough team. They trending upwards, and they playing very well, and we just got to get a good game plan together and go out there. I think we got a chance to beat them. We just have to make sure we got everything clicking.
This is a team that you've played before in the past. Are there certain similarities? I know that you haven't watched a ton of film as we shoot today, but are there a lot of similarities about what they did whenever you were in Class 4A before and what they're doing now?
Well, they pretty much run the same formation, same type scheme that they did in the past, and it's just a matter of different personnel, just checking out personnel and finding out who we need to key on, and things like that.
They had some growing pains as well. I guess a lot of their younger guys were getting older. A lot of the same growing pains that your team's dealing with right now, having to play a lot of young guys early. Talk about the transition of being able to see a team mature that way as it relates to you guys and as it relates to somebody else.
Well, you got young guys. I mean, they had to go through the same thing we're going through it now. It's just getting the guys out there and getting them game reps. And as you can see, a couple of years later, it pays off. If you got guys out there and they getting true game reps, and because you can't simulate it in practice.
Right.
You only get so far, and the guys' expectations and the level of play that you get in games, guys tend not to simulate that in practice unless, maybe one or two plays, some may spark a competition between guys, but they playing very well.
Another big region game for you guys. Talk about that aspect of it, knowing that this game is super important.
Well, we still got a slim chance to get into the playoffs. If we win out, we could force a three-way tie, and of course, we have to win our non-region game, and then, of course, that would give us a better opportunity because we're playing up, but we still have a slight chance to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Hoax Bluff with 3 wins on the season. This game will be at Eagle Stadium. Friday night, 7 o'clock. And Coach, there's another big game on the road. In the past, your teams have played well on the road. Talk about going back on the road for the second straight week.
Well, we enjoy going on it. It allows us an opportunity to be focused and, to kind of block out distractions. And, we have just as good a chance as anybody, out on the road to win the game. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're just going to focus on what we need to do to make plays and go from there.
You mentioned the fact that there's still a chance at a playoff spot. And if a situation came up last year where you were able to get hot at the end of the season and you took that right into the playoffs and you played well at Russellville last year. Talk about that aspect of it, knowing that this is not completely over.
Well, we needed one game last year just to win to get into the playoffs, and it actually was against the #1 team in the region, so we showed what we were capable of doing. But at this particular point, if we can win 2 games, we could force a 3-way tie with Hoax Bluff and Indiana, and possibly, and that would give us an opportunity to make the playoffs. So we still got a chance, got a great chance to get in. We just got to make it happen.
Absolutely. You talked about getting game reps for some of these younger guys, and I guess this is another game that you're kind of looking forward to in order to get some more game reps for those guys.
Exactly. We're going to go into practice and, make a few changes with some guys. We have to move some guys around because we got a couple of more injuries this particular game just to give ourselves a chance and just see where we stand. But I feel great about our chances to get that 4th place spot.
Absolutely. We talked about injuries, and injuries are obviously a big part of every team and every season, and they have been for you as well. And this was just one of those years, like you talked about a few years ago. Every now and again, you'll hit these little rough spots with injuries, and it's kind of next man up.
Well, our situation is, we've had several injuries, starting at the beginning of the season. You got your quarterback out, you got your starting linebacker out. Actually, we lost the entire starting linebacker core. We just got Quintavious Gordon back, and then, of course, we got the quarterback injured this past week, and we also got a starting running back, was the leading rusher, hurt. So, you just have to it's part of football. You just have to kind of go with the flow, and next man up, you got to stick another body in and keep going.
Talk about the way practice goes at this point of the season. Obviously, a lot of the physicality, I would think, is kind of taken out of the game and more of the mental side of it.
Right. We do more installment type things. We try to figure out what plays we feel like will work best against this particular team, and we try to do more installing versus a whole lot of contact because everybody kind of thin and banged up at this time of the season.
Absolutely. Friday night at 7 o'clock over at Eagle Stadium in Hoax Bluff, the Anniston Bulldogs will play another region game against Hoax Bluff. Go out and support them Friday night, and we'll be back here to talk about it on the Bulldog Blitz.